Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the first episode of a brand new series. Now, this is going to be just a vanilla survival let's play, basically, except if you look at my hearts down the bottom, you'll see that I'm actually on hardcore. And that's because I wanted to give myself a little bit more of a challenge. You know, I mean, if I can survive all of these other real players on the Hive playing Bed Wars, I should be able to survive, you know, mobs like this. Which means I'm hoping I'm not going to die for quite a while and this series can go on for a nice long time. You might also notice, if you've seen any of my other videos, that this is actually the first time I'm adding commentary to anything. Because previously, you know, it was just gameplay and keyboard sounds for ASMR and Bed Wars, but I want the series to be a little different because I figured playing survival Minecraft, you know, it's pretty boring to just have the gameplay and no commentary whatsoever, since it's not quite as fast-paced as Bed Wars. So that's why I'm talking. I hope you can still hear the keyboard a little bit in the background, because I do still want this to be relaxing, and I want, you know, you guys to be able to watch this to go to sleep or relax, or use it as background noise, or, you know, whatever else you may want to do. And don't worry, I know most of you started watching me because you want to see Hive content, you want to see me playing Bed Wars, and that's still going to be my main thing. I still probably enjoy the Hive over, you know, playing single player, but I figure a bit of variation is always good, variety in the content, and I also don't want to play Bed Wars all the time. Like, quite competitive sometimes, it can be a little sweaty, but I figure just playing survival like this is a little bit more relaxing. But the point being is that this is only going to be a side project. My main content is still going to be the Hive, it's still going to be Bed Wars. Mainly Hive, Bed Wars, ASMR. I do plan on continuing this hardcore series, maybe 1 episode, 2 episodes potentially a week, depending on how much you guys seem to like it. Which means, if you guys do enjoy this, make sure to let me know in the comments that you want to see more episodes of this. Now, this is just a random seed, and I happen to spawn in a birch forest, which I know a lot of people actually don't seem to like, but unpopular opinion perhaps, I actually really like them. I think they're, you know, one of the nicer looking forests in the game, especially actually, since they added these, what are they called? Wildflowers. Since they added these wildflowers like a year or 2 ago, I think the birch forest has actually become one of the more vibrant forests in the game, which is interesting. Because previously, you know, I feel like people didn't really like it because it was a bit dull, it was a bit pale, the logs, the wood, they're very dull, they're not as nice maybe as oak, not as traditional, but I think all of these extra flowers they've added in here has really helped to even things out a bit. Now, that being said, I don't know if I'm actually going to live in this birch forest. I think figuring out a base location will be something I'll be doing in later, or maybe not later episodes, maybe just next episode, but probably not this one, since I first want to focus on getting gear, essentially, getting some starting items. I want to get probably lots of food, so I don't have to worry about, you know, starving while I'm mining in a cave or in nether fighting blazes. And I also want to get probably some... Oh. Okay. It looks like there's a charged creeper over there. Although, I believe this is actually a glitch due to me using texture packs. Texture packs that were made for a previous version of Minecraft. Because I am playing on the most recent snapshot as of whenever this is posted, the one before the pop was. And this texture pack is much older, and for some reason there's this weird glitch with this texture pack that makes regular creepers appear to be charged creepers. But if we go up to it, as you can see, it's just a regular creeper. So, you know, you might see a lot of quote-unquote charged creepers around, but don't worry, they're not actually charged creepers, they're just regular ones. That's just a visual glitch. I'll try and do something about it, but honestly I don't think there's much I can do besides just not using texture packs, which I don't really want to do because honestly default Minecraft is a little dull and I like to spruce it up with extra packs to make things a little bit more vibrant. You know, make my tools a little bit smaller maybe. And I'm trying to get my crafting table back, but this fake charged creeper is making it. Oh, excuse me. This guy just shot my boat out from underneath me. I didn't even know they could do that. Okay, let's try and get my crafting table back. Okay, you stay over there, zombie. Just had time to break it. Oh, I'm also out of food, so I can't sprint, and I'm on 3 hearts. This is honestly not the most preferable to start to a hardcore series. You know, I'm nearly dead on the first night. But I think we're going to be fine in the boat, since you don't actually lose hunger when you're in boats, which is nice. So I can just hang out in this river, hopefully until I potentially come across a village, which would be ideal, because then I can get some bread and hopefully some iron, which would be great, but looks like the river ends here, so we're actually going to check the other end of it. Although that is the one downside of these birch forests. I don't think villages actually spawn in them at all, which is kind of disappointing. It's kind of weird because all of the other forests, you know, like, what's that one with the pine trees? Spruce forest? Spruce forest has its own villages, but no birch forest villages. Seems a little unfair to me. Alright, so back where we are. Okay, it looks like the river does open up over here, although it goes into a dark oak forest, which again, does not have any villages in it. You know, I really think we need to be adding villages to some more biomes, Mojang, clearly. Ooh, okay. Now there's an azalea tree, which means there is actually going to be a lush cave underneath this. And they're usually pretty massive, which will be good for, you know, getting some iron and that sort of thing, but due to my lack of food right now, I don't think I don't think I'm going to have much luck down there, so I might remember that this is near spawn and come back later after I get some basic materials. I don't think I'm going to go all the way out into the ocean. Looks a bit big, can't even see the other side. So let's just stick to the rivers and see what's down here. It looks like it just continues the birch forest, unfortunately. But let's just keep going and see what we can find. I mean, there is salmon swimming around everywhere. I could hunt them, but honestly, hunting salmon is really annoying. Their hitboxes are way too small to kill them easily, and they drop barely any food anyway, and if cooked fish only gives you like 2 hunger points or something like that, so honestly, not going to be worth it. I think I'm just going to keep boating until I find any sort of village, and then hopefully I'm going to steal that village's hay bales and make myself lots of bread to get myself through the first cave. But after that, hopefully we'll have some iron and we can make a flint and steel and, you know, cook some animals. Now, despite the lack of villages, the seed is actually quite nice, to be honest. This is the first seed I've made. Like, I didn't, you know, create a bunch of hardcore worlds and then re-roll every time it was an ugly seed. So I think we got pretty lucky on the first one. I have found... Ooh, what's that? Looks like there's a ruined portal up there, and sometimes they have golden carrots in the chest around them. So if that's the case, that would be a great way to get some food early game, since I'm literally starving right now. I have some seeds, but unfortunately they won't let me eat those. Okay, I just have to walk over here while walking around the mobs. Not too hard, they're pretty slow. Okay, unlucky, no food. Did get some gold pants though, that's nice. Zombie right there. And there is a gold block, but I can't even mine it because I don't have any iron yet. Lava pool down there. Ooh, a cherry biome. They're pretty nice, but they don't have villages, so I will not be going there since I am desperate for bread. Having no food is so annoying. I hate not being able to sprint. Okay. Nearly died going down that mountain. Already lost another half a heart, but that's alright. 2.5 hearts is all you need. As soon as we find any sort of food, I will be good to go. I know I can just walk around killing animals, but I don't want to then have to go and cook all of that food, since that's, you know, boring. So I think it will be a bit easier to either find a village or... oh, never mind. There's a village. No need to find anything else. Now hopefully the river goes right up near it, because I don't really want to have to walk to it, considering I'm nearly out of food. I'm nearly going to start taking damage from hunger actually, once I hit 0. But it looks like I am going to have to walk. The ocean does not go that close. Let's grab my boat and head over there. Ooh. I can see through here a blacksmith, which is perfect. It means we get a few, what are those things? A few furnaces right off the bat, which is great. Saves me having to, you know, mine a few pieces of cobblestone, which would be just horrible. Alright, I really hope we get some iron in this chest, since that would really help. Okay, let's see. Oh, that is a great chest. Don't really need 2 helmets, honestly. I'll leave one behind, but a bundle is super nice. They're good early game. A spear, I mean, I never really use spears. There's no spears in Bed Wars, so I don't know what they are, but maybe we can use on someone. No? Okay. I'm being held back from the villagers. I think that's some sort of divine intervention telling me to not attack them and anger the Iron Golem right now. So I'm going to stay away from those guys. Now I really hope this village actually has hay bales in it, because that's really the main thing I want from here. You know, I can give or take the iron, the blacksmith, you know, this helmet, I don't really need it, but hay bales are S tier village loot, guys. And it looks like this is a hay baleless village actually, which is super unlucky. Because these villages are much poorer than they look, but luckily they have some carrots, so that'll do for now. Alright, surely that's not the only patch of carrots, is it? I think it might be. Okay. Well, this village was not very good. That's okay. All I'm gonna do now is grab a bed to take with me. No, you don't have a bed. There we go. Might as well take 2, I guess. Can't hurt. And let's kill the Iron Golem real quick. To get some extra iron, even though I already got quite a lot from that blacksmith. That was a really good blacksmith, actually. Because it means I can go into a cave with already some iron gear, which is perfect. Because what I really wanted to make with this iron, you know, you might think, oh, a pickaxe, that's the great first thing to make. No, maybe a shield. I guess that would be handy, we can afford one of those, but no. The most overpowered item you want to make with your iron is a bucket. Because this is going to make maneuvering around these massive caves a whole lot easier once I fill it up with some water. Since now I basically just, you know, won't take full damage. Assuming I can actually land my water bucket clutches. Since we have some leftover iron, let's also go ahead and craft a pickaxe. Completely skip a cobblestone pickaxe, don't need that at all. Wooden pickaxe, throw that away, no need for it. And I'm 7 ingots. What can I even make? I can make pants, but I already have pants, so I think I'll just make some boots and save the rest. We don't need full armor right now. Actually, last 3. Let's make an axe to give myself a bit of luxury. You know, it's not totally necessary, but it does make life a whole lot easier, since I'm going to use it to get myself with some wood to use as basic building blocks for once we go down in the caves. Now, I usually like to get maybe 2, even 3 stacks of logs before I go down into a cave, because it just makes life so much easier being able to build around any way you want. Not worrying about running out of blocks and having to mine deep slate out of the wall to make up for it, because that always just takes way too long. It's way too boring. Not something I want to be doing right now. So now that I have enough loot from this village, you know, I have a bit of food, have a bit of wood, have a bit of armor. I think all that's left is to really find a cave and get myself a nice amount of iron and hopefully some diamonds, but we'll have to see how big the cave is, because I'm actually going to head back to the azalea tree we saw right at spawn. Over 1,000 blocks away it looks like. Oh my god, I did not realize we'd walked so far away. I thought we were only like 300 blocks out from spawn, but no. Over 1,000. So I'm gonna head back to the ocean here and wait, am I heading the right direction? Yes, okay. I think spawn is that away. Yep, this is the river we came along. Okay, we're finally back to where this ruined portal was. You know, the place I got my pants from. Which is good, because, you know, this was much closer to spawn than where we were previously at that village. Oh, and finally, I can see the birch forest. Which is great, you know, this is where we spawned. This is where I started this episode, so I think the azalea tree should be around here somewhere. I think it was... Oh, I should have written the coordinates down in chat, but I'm pretty sure it was 300 negative 150. So I'm just going to keep going this way a little while. And then I'm going to need to head that way to get to 150. I think it was in here and amongst these dark oak. Can we see it? No. No, I cannot. Maybe it wasn't in this little inlet. Let's go over to the other one. Okay, I'm right back at spawn now. Surely it must be close by. Is that it? Is that it? Oh, we found it. We found it. Okay. I knew it was near these trees, these dark oak trees, not the birch ones. Alright, well... I know you're not supposed to, but to be honest, I think I'm just gonna dig straight down here to try and find this cave, since that should make it a little bit faster. And we have our water bucket, so if I do drop into a giant lush cave, which hopefully I'll just be able to water bucket clutch on the ground. Do you have a shovel? I do have a shovel, that's great. To get through all this dirt, wow, okay. That is a lot of rooted dirt. I thought there was only like 3 of these things that spawned under azalea trees, not 3 stacks. I wonder if this music is specific to the lush cave, because I'm pretty sure different ambient songs play depending on what biome I'm in. And maybe it knows I'm near a lush cave, which is why it's playing this lush sounding song. Although I'm getting pretty deep, but the rooted dirt is still going, which I think is a good sign. Unfortunately, gold shovel broke, but I guess that's to be expected. Okay. Surprised I managed to land that, but we are in. Wow, this looks nice with shaders. Okay, now this cave is a little deeper than I was initially hoping, because when you're in deep slate level, it's actually much rarer to find iron, which is what I want a little bit of right now. But hopefully we'll just be able to get lucky and, you know, find these couple pieces around and that will be enough. But I am at minus 16, which is very, very deep. Now, to be totally honest, this cave is not looking quite as large as I had hoped it was initially. I'm hoping down this corridor it'll open up into an actual cave, but if it stays like this the whole time, this might be a little disappointing. I'll also collect this gold, just in case I feel like doing some trading later on in the nether. But, to be honest, I think it's usually easier to just kill Enderman for ender pearls, since I'm a speedrunning noob. I don't know how to do bastion routes and trading routes and whatever else, so I think I'm just going to kill some endermen to get my ender pearls to go to the end, but I think that'll be a concern for another episode, since I don't think we'll be making it to the nether quite yet. Since this is hardcore, I do want to take things a little slower than I may normally, to make sure I don't die to any stupid ways too early on. Since I'd like, you know, more than just one or two of these episodes. Just carpet, oh wait. These carpets really make it annoying to build in these lush caves, but I guess anything for aesthetics. Alright. How much iron? We have 16 iron so far, which is pretty good, considering I'm so deep down. There's actually more up here too, which is great. Let's grab this. Ooh. There's a few mobs in here. Luckily I have a shield now though, so not much of an issue. I did see a creeper before. Hopefully he comes over here and blows up these skeletons for me. That would be nice. Here we go. Come here. Can we get both of them? Nice. Perfect explosion. Alright. Now I'm free to mine this iron. Let's get to it. Honestly, I think this is pretty good progress so far. We're only 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes by now into the video, and I already have nearly half a stack of iron. I guess I should talk about maybe the plan for this video, since I've been saying, you know, we're not going to the nether yet, which is true. I don't think I'll be making it to the nether this episode, but don't worry, I'm not going to progress too slowly, because I do want to get diamonds this episode, and I think I want to try and get an enchant table as well. Maybe not books. Getting the books takes a little bit longer, but just a basic enchant table so we can get some prot 1 and shot 1 and all of that good stuff. Since that will make the nether expedition next episode a whole lot easier. Although it looks like this lush cave is not going to be very good for diamonds, I don't think it's going to go deep enough at all. I mean, I know we are in deep slate, so we can technically find diamonds, but up this high you're only going to find 1 or 2 veins, which is honestly not going to be worth the effort. I am going to mine this lapis while I'm in here too, since, you know, if I plan on enchanting, I should probably get it. Okay, my inventory is already filling up, which I guess let's take a second to organize this. Don't need you. Do I have flint already? No, I will need to keep my gravel then to turn it into flint. I'll hold on my apples in case I run out of food. No need for oak saplings. I'll eat this right now. I'll free up an inventory slot. That will be required to make my enchanting table. Don't need andesite. Don't need you. Actually, an arrow will be handy. You know, I'll be getting a bow at some stage, might as well keep every arrow I get. Torches, I mean, I guess they'll come in useful eventually, but these caves are pretty lit up anyway. Golden nuggets, annoying to keep, but I guess they'll come in handy. Alright, that's looking at, honestly, I don't need the spear, I'm not gonna use it. I don't think they're that good unless you have an elytra. Let's grab this lapis while I'm here. And then I think I'm gonna head back out of this cave because, you know, it's really not as big as I was expecting, and I'll just have to walk around looking for a surface entrance cave. Hopefully one that goes a little deeper than this, and hopefully then we'll be able to find some diamonds. Now, I know there is more lapis over here, but I already have a stack and a half. Honestly, I don't think I need more. So I'm just gonna look around and try and find the hole I came in. I think it was over near this rooted dirt. Yep, there we go. Let's head out of here. I'm just gonna use my water bucket to swim up here. Alright, and we're out. I guess that wasn't too bad. You know, we got some iron, which actually I'm gonna smelt up right now. Since that way I can make a flint and steel to get myself some extra food, because carrots, they're fine for that cave, but I don't think they're gonna cut it for the next cave since I plan on going a lot deeper for a lot longer. Now let's just get some flint while my iron smelts. Oh, we got flint. Didn't even notice. Okay. Alright, we don't need that. One more piece of gravel. While I'm at it, I am also going to make myself a chest plate. And honestly, I'll leave the golden leggings for now because Prot 3 gold is actually equivalent, if not actually slightly better, I believe, than iron armor. So sure, it might look like I have less armor bars down above my hearts, but actually I am stronger than I would be in full iron. Plus, when we do eventually make it to the nether, the piglins won't be mad at me. They'll think I'm one of them. Oh, there was a pig and a cow. There's something right there, but looks like they're trying to escape from me. Lovely. This is probably my favorite way to get food early game. It's just so much more efficient than killing them, getting raw meat, taking them over to a furnace and cooking the raw meat. Might as well just cook them before you kill them. Now, I'm just gonna wait for the rest of this iron to smelt hot, and then we will maybe boat across this ocean, see what's over there, see if hopefully there's a big plains biome which will have lots of nice caves in it. Alright, it looks like my iron has finished smelting, so let's gather these up and head back in the boat and find out what's on the other side of this ocean. Hopefully it'll be worth it, because I have no idea how big this thing actually is, and it could be, you know, only a couple hundred blocks and only take a minute, or it could be 1,000, and it might be a lot further than it's worth, but I'm hoping it's not too far. Alright, update. I'm still boating through the ocean. It's been quite a little while since I cut, and we're still going. No sign of land absolutely anywhere. So I'm starting to think this wasn't the best idea, but I'm already kind of too far to give up now, so we'll have to just keep going and hope that I see something soon. Okay, we have found something. Looks like, oh, is that a mushroom island? Wow, okay. This really is a big ocean then, if I found a mushroom island before any other sort of land. This is pretty cool though. I wonder if this could be a potential house location for the future, because I know Mushroom Islands don't spawn any sort of hostile mobs, which would be super handy for hardcore, because it means I don't have to worry about getting blown up by a creeper or anything like that. And there is a ruined portal over here, so I'm going to go and have a look to see if there's any good loot in these chests, since we do have a pickaxe now, so if there's a gold block, I will actually be able to mine it, unlike before. Wow, okay, this is a really large mushroom island. I thought they were usually much smaller than this, but... Okay, that's a lot of iron nuggets at least, but to be honest, I don't even really need iron nuggets anymore after that little mining expedition. But I guess golden carrots are nice. Now, actually, I think mushrooms do drop beef just like regular cows, so we are going to hunt some of these down. Yep, they do drop beef, perfect. Let's be careful not to light myself on fire here. But let's gather myself a bit of meat so I don't have to worry about food for a while. Especially, oh, luckily I have water on me. Especially, as I was saying before I was lit on fire, since beef is like one of the best food sources in the game, so might as well take advantage of this while I have a whole island full of cows to harvest. Now, I don't know if this is a mushroom island thing or if this is just the vibrant visuals, but I really like this blue kind of fog. Must be because the sun is setting, but I swear it doesn't look like this normally on normal land, so it must be a Mushroom Island exclusive here. Which is not something I've seen before because, to be honest, I don't play a lot of vanilla survival Minecraft. Okay, I've got nearly half a stack of beef. I think that's more than enough for now. I had to cross this island to see if once we get to the other side we'll be able to actually see some real land. I'll keep an eye out for caves on here too, but... Oh, is this a cave? I was about to say I don't think caves spawn on Mushroom Islands, but it looks like I am completely wrong. Okay, great. This is actually a promising looking cave entrance. Let's keep heading down and see if we can make it deep slate, because if it doesn't go to deep slate, then it's going to be pointless, because to be honest, I don't need any more iron right now. Now, none of these holes are looking like they go... Oh! No, I see deep slate. Perfect, perfect. We're already nearly as deep as we were before in that little lush cave. And this is looking much more promising, I must say. Although, it has kind of stopped here, so maybe I spoke a little too soon. Hopefully we'll be able to get deeper. I'm hoping I'll be able to find a deep slate cave that goes all the way down to -58, I think is the max they go down to. Because that way there should be a whole lot of lava on the floor. And I think if we find that, that is what I'm going to use next episode to head to the Nether. Unless... no, maybe not. We'll see. Because I might also... oh! Amethyst geode. That's pretty cool, but really nothing useful to me right now, so I'm going to leave that alone. Now this cave does look like it's coming to a bit of a dead end over here, unfortunately for me. But we can always keep pushing through here. Maybe it'll open out again. No, it does not look like it. Okay. This is another shallow cave. It would have been perfect if we were looking for iron, but I've already got enough iron. As I've said about 5 times now, I think. Whoops. Did I check down here, actually? I don't think I did. Let's just see. There's a tiny chance this opens up to a big cave. Oh wow. Luckily I didn't leave too soon. This is looking very promising. I wonder if that's the amethyst geode I was in before. Should have just dug straight down if it is. I hope this isn't too dark for you guys, because I haven't been using torches since on my screen it's actually bright enough to really see everything. Now this is promising, it's getting deeper, but I'm still not really seeing a whole lot of ores. In fact, I'm seeing absolutely nothing. Which is not ideal because it looks like we come to the end of the cave without finding a single diamond, despite being practically a bedrock layer. Now that is very unlucky since they are actually quite common down this deep. Check, there's none hiding in these dark corners, but it does not look like it. Wow, okay. This really is just a very bad deep slate cave, and does not contain any useful diamonds, it looks like, which is very disappointing, since it means I might have to go all the way back up to the surface and find a brand new cave to search. Ooh, unless this opens up into something else. Let's look through here. See some water flowing over here, and light. What is that, cobblestone? Oh, I think it's lava that got turned into cobblestone by the water. Now I do see light through here though. Hopefully it's not just glow lichen. Oh. That's exactly what it is, glow lichen. Great. Check through here to see if anything's in here, but it's really not looking too promising. Oh! Alright guys, we found a diamond. Now, it looks like it might only be one. Okay, it is only one. And it took me quite a long time of exploring this cave to get that single diamond, so I don't know if it's worth it, but it is still the first diamond of the playthrough, so I guess that's good. One of many, hopefully. Let's continue out. I'm still gonna try and find my way out of this cave, even though there was the one diamond down there. I don't think it's gonna be enough to justify continuing in here, considering how small and... Oh! Wow, maybe I spoke too soon, because we found another diamond right around the corner. And what's this? Another cave I can get into? No, it is not. But it is still another diamond, so we have two now, which is good, since that's actually... I mean, it is enough for an enchant table, but I still need a pickaxe to mine more obsidian, since there wasn't enough in those chests. So we're gonna need at least 3 more diamonds if I want to start enchanting. I'm gonna start heading out. I think just heading up anywhere I can is gonna be the way. And if it's not... Oh! Yep, there we go. We've made it back. Okay. Perfect. Now this is the area I was in before. And it looks like that's actually daylight over there, so if I head back over here, I should be able to get out pretty easily. Which is great, I was not expecting it to be this easy to escape. Oh, and there are more diamonds on the way out, which is perfect. So now I have 3, so I could craft a pickaxe after this iron one inevitably breaks. Okay, that's only 1 diamond, but I guess that's expected this high up. Let's jump in this water and start heading out of here. Alright, we've made it all the way back up. Wow, and there's a whole lot of mushrooms waiting around here for me. I might as well hunt down a few more to get a bit of extra food before I leave the island. Come here, there we go. Couple more over here, let's get these guys too. Okay, I think that one's meat just burnt in the fire, which is a bit annoying. Oh, not quite what I meant to do. No, my beef. That is not going to be worth it, I don't think. Alright, well that wasn't successful. You know, half the beef fell in the hole and got burnt, but I got a little bit from it. Let's get a couple more though to make up for it. And it actually looks like we've made it all the way to the other side of the island. I see the ocean again, so I can hop back on my boat and continue on to hopefully more land, but I've already gone 1,500 blocks away from spawn and I still haven't found another landmass, so maybe this wasn't a good idea going into this ocean. You know, in fact, I think I'm going to start looping around and hopefully we'll be able to meet up with that mainland where I found the village at the start of the episode. Because at this point, I don't even want to know what's at the other end of this ocean. It's way too far, and it is not going to be worth my time. Oh, I found something, but it's not really land. There's an iceberg biome over here, which I think is actually quite rare, or at least I don't see them very often. And just past it, actually, I think... Yep, I can see land. It looks like that's actually snow over there, because I think I can see a spruce tree. Oh, and there's even more spruce forest over here, which is great. It's good to know that spruce is close by, because, you know, obviously spruce is got to be one of the best looking woods, so I'm sure we'll be using it for builds in the future. Speaking of builds, I have some ideas of what I want to build for my base. I think I want to build sort of medieval, since I think that's really more fitting for Minecraft than most other styles, but if you guys want to see anything specific or have a really good idea for a build, let me know in the comments, and if I think it's good too, I might just use it and build your idea in the world. So if you come up with anything, let me know. I'll be checking the comments to see what you guys think. This isn't exactly where I was before, but hopefully there's going to be caves around here, because I'm seeing a lot of this extreme world generation, which I think is typically a good sign for extreme caves. But I'm not seeing many holes in the ground. Actually, oh, sofa. This is one of the new blocks, I think. I haven't even really seen this in person yet. What is this? Sofa. Okay, what is the red stuff? Cinnabar. Cinnabar? I thought cinnabar was some sort of wood. This looks like a meat block. Looks like the pork block you could craft with 9 pork chops. Yeah, I don't know if I like this new sulfur cave. It's nice that Mojang always wants to add blocks for builders, I guess, but a lot of these new blocks really don't have much function outside building, and even these ones, I don't know, they're not a very nice color. It's a little bit like mustard and raw meat, but maybe that's just my opinion. Now I know that sulfur being there means there's a cave somewhere, but I don't know if it's the same as the azalea, where if I just dig down I'll fall into a cave, so I'm not gonna bother, since I might just dig down for no reason. Oh, there's a spring over here. I think that's what they're called. A sulfur spring. And sulfur water? Oh, it makes you nauseous. Okay. Well, I guess I don't want to stand in that for too long. Now, this does kind of look like a cave, but I don't know if it actually turns into one. There's a whole lot of water down here, but no, that doesn't actually go into the ground. Disappointing. Oh wow. I've just come over this hill to honestly quite a nice view. I really like this biome, the giant taiga. I think these trees are really cool. They're probably honestly my favorite tree in the entire game. These 2x2 spruce trees. I think they're very unique, very cool. So I would even potentially be happy to build my base somewhere near here, since this is a very nice location. You know, I am a fan of this weird sort of terrain generation. I think we can build some cool structures around that, as well as this giant taiga forest just past these trees. Since I really like the variation in grass, you know, this brown puzzle and this green grass, and the coarse dirt. Coarse dirt, it's really an underrated block. I think it's a lot better than regular dirt, that is. Are these guys meant to spawn on the surface? You know, I thought these were meant to be a sulfur cube that spawns in the sulfur cave. Like, and only spawns underground. Just like regular slimes, you know how they only spawn in the dark? But it looks like they can just spawn anywhere on the surface, anywhere that there's this sulfur stuff on the ground, which I don't know if I'm a huge fan of. They look a little out of place just jumping around here. They are a weird color, they're very white. Oh, get away from me. They stand out a little too much, I think. And there's quite a lot of them. And they don't even drop anything. I know they're kind of meant for more like mini games and that sort of thing, but would it be nice if they at least dropped something? Maybe like sulfur debris, and you could use it to craft sulfur blocks if you wanted more of those mustard blocks for whatever reason. But it is becoming night, so I'm gonna go to sleep near these sulfur cubes. Luckily they don't count as hostile mobs, so you can sleep near them. Alright. Wow, this is quite a nice location to wake up in. Maybe I will build my starting base somewhere around here. I'm a fan of the spruce biome, especially with this texture pack I have on, which changes the color of the grass to be more vibrant, because I'm not a fan of the default spruce grass. It's a little too pale. I do still want to find a cave though, because I would really like to find some diamonds. Oh, what's this little hole in the ground? It looks small, but sometimes these small caves can actually open up into quite big caverns underneath. So I'll go down here and see what's in here. Oh, looks like there's nothing really, besides the fake charged creeper. Alright, there's really not a whole lot in here. I think I'm gonna head back up. Just gonna let this creeper kill these zombies for me. Now, where did I get in? Is it through this hole? No? Maybe it was over here. Yeah, there, I see sunlight. Alright, well that cave was quite disappointing. As most of these caves have been, honestly. So I'm gonna continue walking through this forest to see if I can find anything else. But the issue with these dense pine forests is that it's really hard to see any caves unless you're right up close to them. Which is why a birch forest or something like a plains would be ideal, since it's not quite as crowded, but I guess we'll have to deal with what we got. I see another landmass in front of me. Oh, there's more dark oak over here, which again is not really ideal for finding caves because of how dense it is. It's really hard to see if there's a cave anywhere. You know what I've just realized? This is the same dark oak forest that is right next to the birch forest that I spawned in. So I've done an entire loop around this giant ocean onto that giant mushroom island, which must be 1,000 blocks that direction, and then accidentally looped around. Well, I guess purposefully, but I didn't mean to come this far back. I've looped around and accidentally gone all the way back to spawn. Well, at least I know there's a giant taiga forest over there now. I preferably want to find the plains over where I was before with that village, but I also don't want to have to go 1,000 blocks again back to that village, so we're gonna hope we can find a plains past this birch forest. I'm not seeing any plains, but the birch forest isn't too dense anyway, so if there is a cave, I should be able to spot it. Oh! I see a structure. I see a pillager outpost. Now that is good because I will need a pillager outpost quite soon. Probably not this episode, but maybe in the next couple episodes I will want to do a raid to get myself some totems, because I think having totems early on is really going to be essential for hardcore. Especially before the dragon fight, because the bedrock dragon fight is a lot harder than the Java one for some reason. It seems to do a lot more damage. But it looks like we might have found a half decent looking cave right next to this pillager outpost, so let's go and check this out quickly. Hopefully it goes all the way down to deep slate and I'll be able to get myself some diamonds. Since, you know, that was the whole goal of this first episode, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, this is looking a lot more promising than anything I've been in so far. Wow, if only I'd just gone this way at the start of the episode instead of looping around to that village, I could have found this half an hour ago. Could have gotten all my iron here instead of on a mushroom island. Alright, so it does go down to deep slate, but it doesn't go a whole lot deeper, at least over this end. So, oof, if I can dodge the skeleton, I'm gonna head over. Oh, he dropped a bow. He dropped a bow. Perfect. I haven't had a bow this whole time, so a bow now would be handy, since I do want to get a bow and a bunch of arrows before I go to the nether, since I'll have to fight off ghasts somehow, and it's pretty hard to hit them with a sword. Okay, I'm finding emeralds but no diamonds, so I guess I'm way too high. Honestly, getting that emerald isn't even worth it. Those guys are guarding it pretty well, it seems. Oh, you know where I am though? I'm right next to this other ruined portal over here, which I had to leave a gold block at, since I only had not a stone, I only had a wooden pickaxe last time I was here. But now that I have an iron one, I might as well go and collect up this gold. Here we go, let's go ahead and grab this. Just chuck it straight in the sack. And I did see a promising looking hole in the ground over here, so I'm gonna check if this is actually a deep slate cave. Nope, it's not a cave, it's a lake. Now, I see on the side of that mountain over there that there's a whole lot of exposed stone, which I'm hoping could be the entrance to a cave. So I'm gonna go check it out. Wow. I don't think this is a cave. Oh, unless it is. I think I'm mistaken. Oh, this looks promising. I can already see deep slate. This is perfect. This is what I've been looking for this entire time. Let's make my way down here with my water bucket. and hopefully there'll be a few diamonds. And maybe a lava pool that I can mine for obsidian, but it's not the end of the world if not, because I know there are some surface lava pools around spawn. Wow, this is perfect. I can already see a whole bunch of diamonds down there. This cave is almost so big that it reaches out of my render distance. I see some more diamonds down there, but I want to kind of do this in order so I don't miss anything. Now it looks like that's the end of the cave. I think that's a corner that doesn't go any further. So I'm going to make my way down there and basically start in that corner and make my way all the way up and all the way along there and get all of these diamonds. This is the very corner of the cave, so let's start. We already have 3 diamonds, and here's the 4th. And this is actually 2 vein finally, which is great, because previously we've only found 1 veins on this world. Now I know typically you would use torches to avoid having to fight all these mobs, but to be honest I think it's a bit of a pain lighting up all of this area with a torch, so I'm just gonna try and avoid them. Okay, that skeleton just shot a zombie, so hopefully they're gonna fight, which means that skeleton is distracted and I can just run away from these zombies. Alright, looks like there was only 2 diamonds down there. Let's avoid the spear zombie. Now, looks like there's actually a few paths to go. We can go over there to a mine shaft. We can go over there, which looks probably the most promising, and we can go down here, which I can barely see past these bright creepers. But I think we're gonna actually start with down here, and then mine up everything here and work our way up here and continue down. Yep, I see some more diamonds over here. Is that diamonds? No, glow lichen. That was only 1 diamond, but seems to be expected at this point. We are already up to 7 though, so it's already better than all of the previous caves we've been in combined. Oh, there's diamonds on the roof right here that I actually missed on my way over. We'll have to be careful to check all the roofs as well for any stray diamonds. Alright, it looks like this is a dead end, and there's no diamonds down here, so... Whoa, you are moving quickly. So let's make my way back out of this branch of the cave and continue along that big promising hallway we saw earlier. No, there's nothing down there. Sorry if I sound very monotone right now. It is like 1 AM and I'm quite tired. But I guess that's good. That's fitting for this sort of content. That's fitting for this episode. As despite the commentary, this is still meant to be an ASMR sort of video. So I guess it's fitting that I'm filming this at a time when I should be sleeping, since hopefully you guys are sleeping watching this. Now there's a whole army of zombies after me. I wonder if this is that new mob they added recently, which actually just looks like a regular zombie, but I think it's called a zombie commander or a zombie soldier or something like that, and he'll actually attract all of the other zombies in the area to him and kind of march towards you in this army-like fashion, which I think is actually happening right now. And the annoying thing about these zombies is every time you hit the leader zombie, another zombie will spawn around. Like, I think this one just spawned there, and will make its way over and start hunting you down, so they're actually a little annoying to deal with. But I think it's quite cool that Mojang added it. I don't know why they didn't really advertise it more, because a lot of people don't even really seem to know that this is a mob that's in the game, despite it being in here for I think over a year at this point, because it's actually a very OG mob. This isn't something new that they only recently came up with. This is something that used to be in the game about 10, maybe 15 years ago on Java Edition only, and then they actually removed it for some reason, and only now brought it back after about, well, over 10 years, I think. So I'm glad it's back. I was actually always a fan of this personally, because I remember seeing it back when I used to play Java Edition as a very, very, very young kid, maybe 10 years ago. And it was really cool because I saw one invading a village, but then they removed it for some reason, despite it making villages a whole lot more interesting if zombies can, you know, launch their own raids on the places. So I'm glad to see it back in the game. Hopefully we can see it in action, you know, around some villages. Okay. I need to be paying attention right now because I am nearly dead to these skeletons. We deal with that spider. Okay. Shoot arrow. There we go. Alright. Perfect. Now this guy has armor, so we'll be a bit careful with him. Luckily copper is very weak though. Oh, I already went this way. I see my pillar. Okay. Now, this isn't as many diamonds as I was hoping for, but if this is the entire cave, I'm happy to head up with this, because this is enough to build myself an enchant table, a pickaxe, and a sword. And I think that should really hopefully be enough for the nether. Yeah, I don't see many other parts of this cave. I already walked down there, already went down there, already looked down there. I started over there. I think we actually explored this entire large cave and only got about 11 diamonds, which is a bit disappointing, but considering how big this is, I thought I would have gotten a few more than 11, but 11 is certainly better than the 3 I found in the previous cave, so can't complain too much. Now I'm gonna make my way out of this cave. I think I've taken it for everything it's worth, basically. There's nothing good left in here. And I'm getting kind of ganged up on by all these mobs, so I want to get out of here before too many of them spawn and I get overwhelmed. Oh! Oh my god. Okay. The series nearly just ended right there on episode 1, guys. That's gonna be something I'm gonna have to be careful about. It's creepers sneaking up on me and just one-shotting me early game when I only have iron armor. Because once I have netherite, it won't be as much of an issue, but for now I can actually just die to a creeper. So I'm gonna have to be careful. This glitch with the texture packs is actually working in my favor right now though, because it makes them stand out a whole lot more. I think now that we've made it out of this cave, now that we've got our diamonds and our iron, and are basically ready to go to the nether, I think I'm gonna end this first episode here, guys. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the new series. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any suggestions for builds or what you want to see me do on this world in the future, definitely let me know. I'll be checking them out. And I hope you guys are hyped for the new series. Like I said previously, it's not gonna become the main content. I'm still mostly gonna be playing in the Hive, posting Bed Wars, doing more Bed Wars ASMR. I think I'm going to do some Bed Wars commentary as well, like this one, but I'll have to wait for something in Bed Wars to happen to talk about, I guess. Hopefully when Season 5 drops, then I'll make a video. I'll make a commentary video when Season 5 releases. Going over all the new items, because I'm really hoping that's going to come out soon, since Season 4 is honestly dragging on a little bit. You know, the jetpack I think is a little bit too overpowered. It's going on a little bit too long, and I hope to see that thing vaulted and never coming back, to be totally honest. But for the meantime, thank you all for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing if you want to keep up with the series. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.